first thing I'm doing is priming my face, and I'm using the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complexion Primer. It's the one that has adapting pigments and like the soft focus effect, I can't say that, and shine control. And I'm also using the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. This is my second time using this primer and foundation, and so far I like it. The foundation has really good coverage. And I'm just using my Morphe M439 brush to blend out my foundation. This is the foundation brush I've been using recently, and I really like it. For concealer, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is also a newer product to me, and I really like it. It also has good coverage, and it like covers up if you have dark circles or anything under your eyes, it will hide that. And this is in the shade Light, which is the lightest color they have. That's the only thing that kind of sucks, is if you're like super pale, you can't really use this concealer to highlight with. I still use it, I just wish it were a little bit lighter, because I like to highlight under my eyes, but I'm still using it because I really like the formula. And I didn't have my beauty blender at the time, like I had it, but it wasn't wet, and I didn't feel like getting up to get it damp, so I'm just using this Morphe brush to blend it out. And then I'm going in with this different brush, which is from Morphe, and I'm just setting my under eye concealer. I'm using my Kat Von D Shade Light palette, and I'm using the lightest shade and mixing it with the middle shade, which is like the more yellow one. And I'm also putting a little bit of that powder everywhere else where I put the concealer. And then I'm going to go in with the lightest contour shade in the same Kat Von D contour palette, and I'm just going to use this to contour my face. And I'm using a different Morphe brush. It's from the same collection, that's why it has a gold handle. So this brush is the Y9 brush from Morphe, and the one I was using before this to set my under eye concealer with the powder is the Y11 one, so I just thought I would let you know. And now I'm going to fill in my eyebrows, which I'm going to skip through kind of quick because it takes me a while to do my eyebrows. So basically I just take a brow pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I start at the bottom and draw out the shape, and then I just draw the shape on the top, and then I fill it in with a brow pomade, and then I will fill in the front of it with a little bit of brow powder. For blush, I'm using Becca's blush in the shade Flowerchild, and I'm using my Morphe M509 brush to apply it. And then after that, I just took the Morphe M530 brush to blend it out because I was a little bit heavy-handed with it. And for highlight, I'm using Champagne Pop and Pearl from Becca, and I'm just mixing them together and putting them on the tops of my cheekbones. And to apply my highlighter, I'm using the Morphe M501 brush. And then the fan brush you just see me going with is from Carity Cosmetics. I'm obsessed with it for highlighting my face. I try to love my Morphe brush, but I'm just obsessed with the fan brush. I can't get away from it when I highlight my face, so I really like that. And then I use some of my Laura Mercier translucent powders to bake my face. And for my eyes, the first eyeshadow I'm using is in the shade Topaz from the Kylie Cosmetics Bronze Palette. And it's been about 5 minutes since I had that powder on my face, so I'm just going to wipe it away. And then I'm going in with the shade Tiger Eye, and I'm just going to bring this a little bit lower than the first color. And then I'm going in with Citron, which is the orange shade, and I'm just putting this a little bit higher up in my crease. And I'm just using a Morphe blending brush. I think it's a Morphe one or a Sigma, but it's just the basic blending brush. And I also kind of brought that out to be like a cat eye. And now I'm going in with the shade Hematite, I think is how you say it, which is just a reddish, darker brown shade. And I'm just putting this in my crease and in my inner corner and the outer corner of my eye. And then I went in with a clean blending brush just to blend it all together. And then I went in with a little bit of the shade Jasper, which is the matte cream color in there. And I put this on my brow bone, and I used it kind of to make a cat eye where you would put tape. And I just used this eyeshadow to clean it up a little bit, just so it's not all messy and all over the place. It will also help highlight your brow bone. And I did bring it towards the inner corner a little bit. And now I'm going in with a super dark brown eyeshadow in the palette, and this is in the shade Bronzite, I think is how you say it, I'm not sure. And I'm putting this in the very outer corner of my eye and the inner corner, and then I'm just bringing it up in the middle in the crease. And I did go back into the palette and pick up some more of that Bronzite eyeshadow, and I mixed it with Hematite, which is the dark orangish brown shade, and I mixed them together, and I just went on the inner corner and the outer corner just because I felt the dark brown took a little bit of the warmth away from the eye, so I just went back and mixed them together. And now I'm going in with one of the new Stila glitters that just came out. This is in the shade Kitten Karma, and I'm just using the applicator to apply it to the center of my lid. And then I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to blend it out so there's no harsh lines. And this does dry a little bit quicker than I thought it did, so you kind of want to work a little bit fast when you're doing this. And then I'm going back in with the dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm using a flat definer brush. This one's from MAC, but Sigma has them. And I'm just putting this up against my lower lash line. You can use black to do this if you want to, but I didn't want it to be that dark, so I just used the dark brown. And then I'm going in with a light brown eyeshadow in that same bronze palette, and I'm just blending right underneath that dark brown eyeshadow, and then I'm going back in with a warmer eyeshadow, and I'm just going to put that right underneath just so it's like warm on the lower lash line too. And then I'm going in with mascara. This one's from Lancome, I think, yeah, and it's like one of the Hypnose ones, I'm not sure exactly, but any mascara will work. And now I'm highlighting my brow bone. I'm using the same highlighter I use on my face, which is from Becca. I use Champagne Pop and Pearl, and I mix them together. So I'm using that to highlight my brow bone and the inner corner of my eye. And then I went back in with a little bit of that orange eyeshadow from the bronze palette, and I'm just putting this in like my upper crease just to blend it. And for my lips, I'm first using a lip liner from MAC. This is in the shade Subculture, which is like a nude kind of brown shade, and I'm just lining my lips and filling it in. And then I'm using Gerard Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Nude. And then this is the finished look. I hope you guys like this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!